I was shopping at Lowe's and I found these really cool hardware pieces that allow you to mount your potted plants onto the wall so easily. You just slide the lip in like that and it holds it up. And the cool thing is that you can take it down just as easily to do your plant maintenance. When it comes to choosing the right pot, I always suggest finding one with a drainage hole. That way you don't get root rot on your favorite plants. But if you have a pot that doesn't have a drainage hole, here's how you solve it. Leave your plant in its nursery pot and put that pot into your decorative pot. That way you can take it out when you water it, and it always helps to use a species that likes generally more moisture retentive soil, like this begonia. When you're cutting a plant this complicated, like, take some time to go a little slower. I've learned my lesson now. But if you move too fast, you'll end up cutting something you don't mean to. And that is the worst feeling in the world. I have to trace these all the way back to where their origin is. I also don't think there's anything wrong with taking a damaged leaf, especially on a plant like this, and cutting it at an angle. Nobody has to know that you cut it. Here's a perfect example where you have this tip damage on the leaf, but nobody has to know. That looks close enough to where it gets lost in there. Nobody has to know. Here's another one. It's like I'm giving a haircut. That's what it feels like. You want like a low fade or like some bayangs? What do you think? That would be kind of funny actually if I was able to give this a hairstyle. That would be really cool. Don't over prune, because you can get carried away. And I think we're almost about where we want to be. Now that we've got this all kind of cleaned up, I'm just gonna put the nursery pot right into a decorative basket. I love a good basket. And then use a mister to spray the leaves to kind of clean them off and give them a refreshing, kind of refresh them a little bit, and also use that to water the soil as well. I'll probably put, whatever. If I insert a tray into the bottom of this basket, then you don't have to worry about the water draining into the basket and ruining the basket or getting on your floor. Cool. The coloration on this plant is really, really cool. You've got that nice lime green that contrasts the dark green on the outsides, but then if you look closely, you actually have this band of dark maroon on the very edge of each leaf. I just think it's really beautiful. My rule of thumb when it comes to leaf damage like this is to leave it on the plant for a couple of weeks. If you don't see any increasing decline, it's probably just an aesthetic issue, and if it bothers you, cut it off. I need more soil than that. That's really embarrassing. Ah, dirt everywhere. Ah! I'm thinking I'm gonna put like cactus here intentionally, you know what I mean? I just filled this jar up with some water and we're gonna do some propagation, which is like one of my favorite things in the world, to be honest. Let me find some prop drops. Oh, I found it. All right, prop drops work great for propagation. You just add them directly to the water. And for this much water, get you about 75 milliliters or 7 drops, 8 drops. That seems about right. I should probably pronunciate my words, but. This is one of my favorite philodendron. It's a philodendron jerry horn. It's got a nice juicy aerial root on it, so this should propagate pretty easily. We're just gonna put that into the water and onto a shelf where it can get some nice light. How about here? We'll switch this one out. Oh, Jesus. Oh, just beautiful. Probably should shine those leaves up a bit. Well, of course I love Market Botany leaf shine, but the reason why I love it is it doesn't leave behind that super greasy residue that makes the leaves look really shiny, don't get me wrong. But in really good light, it's like putting tanning oil on and laying in the sun all day. You're gonna get burnt. And we don't want that to happen to our plants. So the Market Botany leaf shine is much more of a cleanser than it really is a leaf shine. But what it does is it leaves your plants looking super nice and shiny, just the way Mother Nature intended. Inside, we don't have like the wind and the rain and all of the, natural environmental components that plants in nature usually get to clean them off. So in our houses, we have to be Mother Nature, like for her. Innovation. No, that's not gonna work. I have to fill something else up and then fill this up. We'll figure it out. We will figure it out. How tall is this one? This one, I think we have a winner. I'm just gonna wait. I'm gonna get something more appropriate. We'll do this more efficiently soon. Your sticks, they will come in handy. And even if the plant doesn't need it, it like is just an extra little design component. Do I have scissors? Right here, yeah. I'm just gonna clean this Tillandsia up a little bit, cutting off any of the dry, dead leaves. This is just a personal preference. There's nothing wrong with having some dead growth on the tips of each leaf, but I think it'll just look a little bit better after it's cleaned up. And it looks like this flower has kind of gone through its different stages of bloom, so you've got kind of some dried flower pieces here. Again, nothing too bad to worry about at all actually, but just aesthetically removing these will make it look a little bit more polished. I'm going to mount this up. What do I have to mount it with? I'm just gonna set this somewhere. With Tillandsia like this, humidity is more important than anything. So you wanna put this in a place where you know the humidity stays nice and high. But if you do need to water it, just submerge it underwater for a couple of minutes and then set it upside down to get any of that residual water that's inside the plant that may cause it to rot out. And once it's dry, just put it back where you have it on display, and it should be good. They're pretty easy to care for. I think that they have a bad rap for being more complicated than they really are. And there's just so many variety of Tillandsia. I'm super lucky. I have a Tillandsia and bromeliad nursery really close to me, so I'm able to get these really unique species. I can't get these scissors off my fingers. You know what they say about big fingers, right? This is like a Tillandsia, gosh, Cameron, use your words. A Tillandsia doesn't need a pot, but I think this will look good right here. And then I'm gonna, oh shoot, I'm gonna kind of weave some of those leaves behind the hanger to get it to stay where I want it. Oh my gosh, am I okay? Okay. There we go. That's exactly what I was trying to achieve. Okay, cool. I'll give it a good mist every once in a while too, probably. It'll enjoy that. And I'm gonna put a humidifier in here as well, just to make sure the relative humidity stays nice and high. This Tillandsia is called the Tillandsia serval, which is a hybrid of the fasciculata and capitata. The more you know, I guess. I'm just using a garden trellis that I got at Lowe's and screwed it into the wall in front of this window so that I can mount some hanging plants right here into the window. And I found these cool hanging planters too that actually do have a drainage hole that just, I can hang on here like this. And it's gonna be dope, to be honest. There you go. What the fuck? I'm sorry. My spirit team, they're trying to send me a message, I think. Oops. Is there like a cute way to sweep?